At this time of year, often we all begin to reflect on the Christmases of times past and our own memories of it. Christmas in St Ives, as a boy, I remember as a special time. The town itself started to stir from its autumnal slumbers, and the shops of Fore Street and Tregenna Hill glittered with decoration, spilling their light magic onto glistening cobbles as the locals began their preparations for the festivities. There was a bustle and a palpable excitement. Animated Cornish brogue conversation would hover in shop doorways and cluster by the post office. Mr Ninnis, the butcher, did a roaring trade in turkeys. Accompanying this was a ritual from my brother and I that, looking back in an adult timescale, was breathlessly brief, but at the time had all the solidity and permanence of long tradition. We both played in the town band, he the trombone and I the tuba. Every year on the 1st of December, the carolling season would begin. This meant that the band would play Christmas carols every night from 7 till 9 in almost every street of the town and district until Christmas Eve, with a few highlights like the concert at the Lant Village Hall or Trewartha House thrown in. This was accompanied by the tin-shaking committee members who went door to door for donations for band funds. It made quite a contribution, I'm told. So, every night an area was covered from down along to the Dyje, Trelawney to Ayr and Carbis Bay. I don't remember the rain, but I do remember it being cold and how the fingers on the valves would slow up after a while. I do vividly remember clustering under street lamps and the voice of Mr Toll, the bandmaster, calling out the carol numbers. Number 73, Jingle Bells. Number 3, Away in a Manger. Number 5, Once in Royal. We used the green Salvation Army hymn books, and we knew every carol by its number. I was outraged when I found out they'd republished them recently and changed the numbers. It was social, light-hearted, and we enjoyed it. People would brave the weather and stand in low granite doorways to listen and sometimes sing too. I was too young and too unworldly to recognise the feeling of connection and community, but it was certainly there. People appreciated what we did, and occasionally there was a glass of something for the older ones who were allowed it. I played the B-flat bass, the largest instrument in the band, and needless to say, it was heavy. It was carried across the body with a strap that weighed on the shoulder mercilessly. My father was astonished by the weight of it, and the fact that a 12-year-old walked around with it for 2 hours a night. I really didn't notice. As Christmas neared, the charge of excitement increased, particularly when we played on Market Jew Street in Penzance, which was punctuated by mince pies and tea at the local Warren's Bakery. It was here that I first saw a £20 note, several in fact, as they were crammed into a large sweet jar. We had a sign that day saying we were donating our takings to the support fund for the families of the crew of the Penley lifeboat that had been lost a week before. The entire county felt the shock of it. It was a time of sounds, smells and sensations. The tingle of heat on one's face and hands in front of the log fire when one got home after carolling. My grandmother's mince pies and ham. The reassuring snuggle of the dogs when one sat down. Sore lifts, a stiff shoulder, shared jokes and my brother's outrageous improvised trombone obligati weaving through the band. And so it was. A Christmas ritual that came around year on year with all the reassuring warmth and pleasure as the season itself. Lost and distant as Dickens now, perhaps, but yet as real and vivid in the memory as a Christmas gone.